Welcome on The Budding Entrepreneur. My name is Preston. Now, thank you for joining us from wherever you're watching from. And today we are speaking to the people who are in charge of where you reside, where you do your business, or where you go for entertainment or socialize. We are speaking to property managers. We are talking about Great MWANZO Properties Management and Valuers.
Thank you very much for that question. I'll say Great MWANZO Properties and Management Valuers Limited was started in the year 2009, and this company started its humble beginning in a very small office just across the road from where we are. We started 4 directors, 1 customer, no employees because by that time we didn't have much, and by the grace of God, the company has grown into greater heights. We have 100+ employees. We have branches in different places. Like we have 1 branch at Runda, just opposite 2 rivers. There's a building by the name Runda Shopping Center. We are there, 1st floor. We have another office now where we are right now. It's called Comarox. We just moved from this other side. It's called Kayole. Where we are, it's called Comarox. So we moved to this bigger space. The reason as why we moved to this place, when the company grew to greater heights, we realized that now that office was small for us, so we decided to come to a bigger space. If you go to all our branches, this is the biggest branch because this is where we started. We have another office at Kasarani, just opposite police station. There's a building by the name Eden Plaza. We are there, 3rd floor. And we have another branch at Thika. There's a building by the name Zuhura, just opposite where Tuskys used to be, across the road. There's a name by the name building Zuhura. We are there, 3rd floor. And now we have an upcoming branch, which is under construction. It's going to open its doors come September 2022. That's when we are opening the new branch at Kamakis Roiro, because we've realized that bypass Kamakis Roiro, that place is growing. It's growing very fast, so we'll be opening our newest branch there. So right now we've got 5 branches. We thank God because we have 3,000+ clients. We have over 100 employees. So at least we have grown to greater heights. Great MWANZO Properties, I would say, it is registered under Companies Act Cap 486. At the same time, we are a member of the Estate Agent Registration Board. We are regulated by the government, so we have all the necessary documentation to do this business.
Our business is based countrywide because what we have done, we have integrated our system with the banks, so that even if a customer is based, for example, today in Kisumu, from my phone, I'll be able to know that customer has paid. The customer does not have to present the receipt all the way from Kisumu to an office in Nairobi because of the integration we have done with the banks. We also have mobile banking where they can also pay through PayBill, and we're also able to detect they have paid through real time. Also what we do, we manage properties countrywide. We have properties in Kisumu, we have some in Murang'a, some in Nyeri. So we don't necessarily have to have a branch where we have properties because of the interconnection we have done with the banks. Also, okay, our customers ranges from individual owners of properties. We have some properties that we manage for governors. We don't want to mention their names. We have MPs. We have also properties for institutions and for other companies that we are also managing for.
What property management entails, it entails from the time the owner of the building signs the contract with Great MWANZO, whereby the owner of the building engages Great MWANZO Properties to be managing the building on his or her behalf. That is, the owner signs the necessary or the required documents. Then from there, we as Great MWANZO, we come in, we engage the tenants. We also ensure that all the tenants per individual, they also sign the lease forms, because now you have to identify, because you cannot be having tenants in your houses and you don't know the people who are living there. You see, in those buildings, we have encountered in the past some people who are terrorists. You see, so they have to sign, they have to produce their ID copies, they have to tell us where they work. So we also take all those details. We ask for their KRI PIN, we ask for their ID copy. That is what we do. Then from there, we arrange with the tenants. You see, not all those people that are going to get their rent on, maybe on 5th. Or for all of us, we understand that rent is supposed to be paid 5th of every month. But there are some people who are working, but they don't get their salary on that 5th. So we are human beings. We also listen to those tenants. We tell them, maybe if you can't afford to pay your rent on this day, you can tell us when you'll be paying your rent. For instance, you say, I'll be getting my money on 20th. We also listen because we are human beings. We put in our records that for this tenant, don't harass this tenant, because we had an initial agreement whereby this tenant will be making his or her payment on this certain date. So we normally have those arrangements. That is what property management entails. These tenants, they deposit money into our account. That is the arrangement we have with the owner. Reason being, you see, once the owner of the building has signed the contract with us, we are supposed to pay the owner of the building whether those tenants have paid rent or not. That's what we call upfront payment. We pay even before those tenants have paid rent on time. At the same time, it's a very good catch for the owner of the building, because if the owner of the building maybe is having maybe a facility or a loan, this person will be able to pay loan on time. Or this person maybe is having maybe a studying order, maybe you can have an insurance, education policy for your children. Great MWANZO is going to assist you maybe in making those payments on time. That is what property management entails.
We set the best market rate for the rent. This landlord, some of them will set the market rate too high and they are stuck waiting. Or some of them will set too low, they tend to lose every month. So we advise the client according to the market rate of that area. There is no way you can go to charge a house in Kasarani the same way you'll charge a 2-bedroom in Runda. Even the area, we do a research and advise the client accordingly.
For you to know whether this person is a high quality tenant, like we are calling them, first of all, you have to provide us with information. You see, they come looking for houses. There's a questionnaire that they're supposed to fill. We ask them, where do you work? What do you do for a living? So we always check. We vet them by asking them those questions. And by doing that, we can be able to tell. There are some people who will be mean with information. So we can tell this person is not a good person. And we can always advise the owner of the building. We tell them, now for this person, I have some doubts. Even if this person is coming with a lot of money, no, it's not a quality tenant. So for us, we always check by vetting, by asking where you work. You have to provide that information. If you don't want to provide that information, then we say no, we can't take you into our houses. Yes.
Lucy, maybe if you can also touch on shorter vacancy cycles, which is one of your core values.
Yes. Okay. A shorter vacancy cycle means maybe you see you are having a building and it remains vacant for a very long time. Now the word shorter vacancy cycle means, for us, we advertise our houses very well. Maybe you can tell me, maybe you walked along Thika Road and you have seen our banners. They are very big, they are very visible, whereby even when you are on the road, you can be able to pick that number. Ukiwa kwa matatu, you can call that number. They are going to guide you. Maybe you're going to tell us, I will be available on this certain date, I will come see that house. So there's a very big banner, visible one. The other thing that we do to have shorter vacancy cycle is maybe we advertise our houses through social media platforms. Like you look at our Facebook page, you'll see that there are so many houses we put there. So that's another way of advertising our houses. Also, we also look for brokers. We engage brokers, like areas like Huko Zimmerman. We engage brokers whereby they bring people, then we give them a commission. That's how we ensure that we have shorter vacancy cycle.
In short, someone who is trusting you, their property, they have very good service coming their way, and you ensure profitability for that trust in you. Now I want to understand, with all these things that you're speaking about, everyone is seeing how good you are at making your client, your first client, who is the property owner, happy. Now I want you to just tell us, as managers of properties and also valuers, how do you make sure also the tenants, or the person you're getting money from to pay the property owner, is happy and satisfied, and they'll always look for properties that are managed by you, aside from you showing some leniency towards rent payment?
Okay, I would say for us, when we come in as Great Mwanzo, maybe for example, we've been given a certain building to manage. What we always do, we have to go to those tenants, we talk to them, individual by individual. We tell them we are not here to chase you guys. We are here to have a relationship, and not just a short-term relationship, but a long-term relationship. So we talk to them in a nice way. We tell them don't get scared, because they know the word agent. Most of the people, when they see maybe a building has been given to an agent, they run away, or they start giving notices to run out of that house. So for us, when we come in, we explain to them in a very nice way. We tell them, don't worry, we are here, we are going to work with you, and as long as we can keep on communicating, we can help one another. If you don't have money on time, if you don't get your salary on time, maybe we can agree. You can tell us, for me as the tenant, I always get my money on this certain day. Then from there, we are going to keep that the lease document whereby this tenant is going to sign. We are going to put that into a system whereby we are going to ensure that not even one of the staff is going to harass this person because maybe rent is not paid on time. So we ensure that we have a very good relationship with our tenants. When it comes to maybe if they want to vacate, we always tell them that it's good you give us 1 month notice in advance to avoid future problems whereby you come to our office asking for deposit, but you didn't give enough time for us to process your deposit. So we always do. We always say in our company, communication is key. We always make sure that they are well informed. Communication is there. We always send them SMSs telling them that in case of anything, you have any challenge, there's something that you feel it is not right, please call this number. That is how we have been engaging our tenants.
First, I would like to say we have seen the hand of God. Sometimes we see God work through miracles, because when maybe our business is based on honesty and integrity. You know, here most of the agents, they are not honest. They will collect money from the client and then they don't remit the money to the client. So that's why most of the people, they don't trust the agents. But for us, we make sure whatever we have collected, we remit it less our commission. So that is how we have grown through those referrals. So the customers, the big clients, they just call us for an interview. Then through the favor of God and through our honesty and the referrals, we get the job.
Wow. It's nice that you've spoken about referrals, and then you go for an interview, which is like which is more like a question and answer session. But I also want to understand. And also, aside from what Lucy said about you having a very huge online presence and also doing billboards along the roads, how else are you finding business? Do you like walk to a company and then pitch your idea, or how do you get extra business?
Yeah, we have marketers who move around with branded vehicles. Maybe you might have come across one of the vehicles. We have 2 marketers. They go with our branded vehicles looking for potential clients. Also, we have another way we do our marketing, whereby we go to malls. We put a tent there. Maybe on weekends we go to the big clubs. Yeah, that is also what we do to get the customers.
We have encountered a challenge when it comes to hiring employees. Reason being, maybe you hire some graduates. They come here, maybe they find maybe the expectations, they are not met. Reason being, you see, when people come from maybe college or universities, their thinking is a bit different from what they find out here. So we have had that challenge. So what we always do, mostly for us, we advertise through Daily Nation. Like we put an advert, we are looking for an operations manager then we put all the requirements there, then they call, then we invite them for an interview. And because we as the directors, we know what we are looking for, we want someone of the right attitude, because you have to have interpersonal skills, you have to know how to relate with people from different backgrounds. Yeah, we want someone who can maybe accommodate so many things, because here you'll find someone making noise into the office saying, why have you not given me my deposit on time? Such things. At least someone who can accommodate such. So we want someone, that's why I say the right attitude, someone who can, someone maybe who knows how to control his or her anger, because there are some people who are not patient with people. Those are the kind of people we look for. At the same time, at least, yes, we need people who are educated, because knowledge is power. We look for people who are educated. That is how we hire our employees.
When we are hiring, we don't really consider whether you have done maybe a course in property management. If you have done it, it's an added advantage. But if you have not done it and maybe you have done something else, we will still take you. But what we do, when you come in, you are taken for training. You will be trained on how we work, how to handle customers for like about a month. Then when the manager assesses that this person is good to go, after the training, now you are allocated the houses to manage. Then what we have done also with the properties, we have categorized them. Like there is somebody who is managing the corporates. There is someone else who is managing another area. Then this according to the also ability. You know, you not take somebody to manage houses in Runda, maybe, and you can see that person, he does not have the capability. So we categorize the houses and we allocate the field officers according to their abilities.
Quite insightful. This is the wisdom from the proprietors and directors of Great MWANZO Properties and Valuers Limited. Now, we are taking a short break. When we come back, we'll just get to understand what it takes to venture into this business and make it tick.